Quack, quack. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Duck. And today, we gotta talk about SummerSlam. Well, I attended SummerSlam this year, and I would say, it was probably the most fun I've had at a live event in general. Wrestling, sports, music, anything. Today, we are going to talk about that and my thoughts and all the things that happen. So, to give you a little backstory about myself, if you don't know, I'm a Twitch streamer. I go by Young Duck, and a YouTuber. And I thought I'd make this channel so I could start talking about WWE because it's one of my passions. I just started getting back into WWE last year. My friend, he got me back into it. I haven't watched it since 2013 before that. So, I've been to Fastlane last year. I've been to a Raw and SmackDown last year and this year. And then I was at SummerSlam Saturday. And man, was it a roller coaster ride? Getting there, it was a great time. Everybody was really nice there. They didn't let us in for a little while. You know, that happens. It is what it is. It was a hot day, but it was comfortable. We were in the shade. Everybody was super nice. The concessions were great. The staff was great. It was an overall great time. And now let's get into the matches. So the first match, Rhea versus Liv. I kind of knew. I had a feeling Liv was going to win. I mean, that's just how it is. I don't think you could take the belt off her that quick. And they're going to build a storyline with Dom. Obviously, that shows up later in the match. But all I can say is it was a hard-hitting match, but it was also a methodical match. Like at the first, when they're doing their little cat and mouse thing, I didn't care for it. But once they started really getting into beating each other up, it was a pretty solid match. And, you know, the whole Dom twist thing at the end, I think it was pretty good. You know, he's saving Rhea from hitting Liv with a steel chair, right? You can't win your title back that way. And people are thinking, oh, he's just being nice, you know, whatever. Okay, that makes sense. But then when he threw the chair in and was pointing to Liv to the chair, and she hit that oblivion on the chair, and she won, and the whole Dom picking her up and kissing her, man, I had a feeling that was coming. But man, well, I can't lie, it was a shock and a half. It was a great time. Like, I was clapping for him, cheering, you know, and he was flipping us all off. It is what it is. I get it. He's the ultimate heel now, is what you can say. He's really the ultimate heel. But I thought that was a great match. I loved it. And then we got to go to the Sami Zayn Braun Breaker. I call him Steiner because he's a Steiner. Let's be honest. Braun Breaker is a dog. Straight dog. I like how they did like a kind of a squash match for Braun to make him look like a beast that they were building him up to be. I thought he should have won that Money in the Bank personally, but they didn't pull the trigger. I guess they really wanted him to win on a bigger stage. I guess that makes sense, but it kind of made him look a little weaker. Not going to lie, but how they kind of had him squash Sammy this time, it kind of was better. It kind of built that dog back. Both technically look like $1,000,000, like always. Especially Sami Zayn. What can you say about him? He's $1,000,000 when he's in the ring. I don't care who he's against. And Braun, he's just coming into his own. He's always been a solid wrestler. Even in NXT, he looks like $1,000,000. How many times am I going to say that? I don't know. But I'm just speechless how good he looked and how good Sammy looked in that match. And those spears, especially that spears that was like 20 mile an hour to put it away, it was great. And I'm so happy for him. I know Sammy and Jay are going to go for those titles from the Judgment Day. Let's be honest with you. Actually, are they going to be called the Judgment Day? I don't know. Are they going to be called something else? I don't know. So we'll see that. But I think they're going for that. And then they're going to go with the OG bloodline. But we'll get back into that later. So match number 3. LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship belt. I loved Logan's entrance. I'm a big Browns fan. You know, I live in Ohio. I love Cleveland in general. So I thought it was cool. You know, the whole Browns get up, the whole gear. He brought MGK out. You know, that's fun. It's whatever. I thought he performed really well. He got hit with that prime bottle, and it actually showed he hit the fire out. LA Knight hit the fire out of Logan. And I've never seen LA Knight wrestle this good in the main roster that I can remember that I've seen. He looked great. That almost like that superplex but looked like a brain buster was crazy. And somehow he went like Super Cena real quick. He got hit with the brass knuckles. And he still hit him with the BFT. I don't know how, but it happened. And either way, it was a pretty good match. It wasn't my favorite match of the night, no. It was probably, to be honest, probably the least favorite match of the night. But it was a good match. That just shows you how strong this card was. And I'll give that one about a 7 out of 10. The match beforehand was Sammy and Braun, an 8 out of 10. The first match, an 8 out of 10. And yeah, we have a new United States champion in LA Knight. Much deserved. That means they got trust in him, and we'll see where that goes. The fourth match, Nia Jax versus Bayley. Let's be honest. I'm not a big fan of either. That's just me personally. But I wanted Nia to win. They have a good storyline they could go with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Bayley's title run and the storylines after, like, built on it, it just wasn't anything special. Honestly, it fell flat in my opinion. But with the Nia and Tiffany, they really got a story they could go with Tiffany having the Money in the Bank, and they're so close, clicked up. We'll see how that turns out. But I think this was probably Nia's best wrestling match in the WWE. I'm just going to be honest with you. It probably was. She was pulling out all the stops, and then when Bayley hit her with a motherfucking power bomb, carrying her from the top rope, it was pretty dope. I can't even lie. How Bayley did that was crazy. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was much applause to both of them. But Nia deserved it. Nia deserved that win. And yeah, I think that was one of my favorite matches of the night. Honestly, I had no expectations coming into it. I really didn't want to see it that much because the feud wasn't that great and everything, but it turned out really well, and I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. And then we're going to go in the CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, a special guest referee, Seth freaking Rollins. It was everything I wanted, honestly. I'm a big Punk fan. As you could tell, I bought the CM Punk hat. I got the Punk shirt. I was wearing it. I'm not a huge fan of McIntyre, but I think he's a great heel. Great heel. Seth Rollins is dope. You know, I've seen him many times live and everything. He's a dope guy, dope wrestler. He's got that aura to him. And for Punk wrestling for the first time in 7 months and everything, I thought he looked great. You know, he's an older guy. You know, he's going to have some hiccups. He's not in wrestling shape because he hasn't been able to work out and do that. But he's damn close for being out for 7 months and being that old. No offense, Punk. So I think it was a great time. I think it was a great match. There was no bad matches this card. There was no bad matches. So if I sound like a fucking just reiterating and keep saying the same thing, it's because it's true. It was great. It was a great match. I wanted Punk to win, but I knew they wouldn't have Drew lose and eat a pin again after he's been screwed so many times from Punk. But it was a good match. The goes to sleeps, dude, the GTSs were so clean, so effective, and that last Claymore, it could have kicked the head off of a donkey. I don't know. That shit was fucking fire. Excuse my language. But, yeah, I'll give that match a 9 out of 10. It was really good. It was really, really good. I'm ready for this feud to continue, and can't wait to see how it goes. Maybe AJ Lee against Becky Lynch. Who knows? Who knows how that will work? So I guess we'll see. And we got to go to Damian Priest against Gunther. When I tell you I was so upset how they did my dude Damian, for one, I used to not like Damian at first when I started watching it. You know, he was a heel. It was what it was. But recently, he's just been so good with his character work and his in-ring work. He's elevated this championship. It's like he elevated his career. Like, he did everything he should have. He was really good. And this feud, from being like 3 weeks old, was awesome. Like, you can't really ask for a better thing being that quick. Gunther, always a great wrestler. Always. But it was Gunther bleeding from the chops from Priest, and you'd think it would be the other way. And it was they had some technical spots, but they were really just beating the hell out of each other. They were really just beating the hell out of each other. Let's be honest with each other. And man, was it fun to watch. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better match between those two. I'm just going to be honest with you. I couldn't have. So I loved it. I loved it. Every second of it. But when Finn came out, I knew what was happening. They were going to have Finn turn because Dom turned and everything. And it was just the crumbs leading up. I wish it didn't happen. I wish Damian could have won. I resonate with Damian. I think Damian's a dope person, and what he's came from, I think that's awesome that he's gone to where he is now. Let's just be honest. And Gunther's going to be a great champion. I know Gunther's going to be a great champion. Look how great he was at Intercontinental Champion. He's just a great wrestler. He always elevates everybody that he goes against. And that just shows how great he really is as a wrestler. But I can't lie, man. I was upset that Priest lost and how he did lose, because he had Gunther win. He had him beat. But you know, Finn Balor had to put his fucking nose in it. Excuse my language again, but that's just how it was. So it was what it was. But I think that technical wise, and what I looked for, I'd say that was the best of the night. I'd say 9.7 out of 10. Like, I really, really enjoyed that match. Like, it was great. And now we're going to talk about the main event, Bloodline Rules. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, got the chain on, you already know, against Solo fake tribal chief Sikoa. At the first 20 minutes, it was just them going at it. It was cool. Solo held his own. I'm not going to lie. Solo looked good. Solo held his own. Cody's always looks good in the ring. Cody's a great professional. Solo really came into his own in this match, I think. And I applaud him. I really do. I applaud everybody on this card because they all did great. But I really applaud Solo for this. And then the Tongans. Well, Tomatonga and Tongalia, I think. I call them the Tongans. I don't know what they're called. That's what I heard. Either way, they came in. Then KO and Randy came in. I'll tell you, it was electric as fudge when Randy came out. Randy's my favorite wrestler. I've watched Randy when I was younger, as a kid, growing up. I think he's a better heel than he is babyface. So I know he's going to be switching on Cody soon. But we'll get into that when that happens. But it was electric when he came out, dude. It was 57,000 of us were singing his song, which I think was pretty dope. And then they take each other, they start fighting and going in the backstage, and now it's just Solo and Cody for a while. And then Jacob Fatu came from under the ring. And, dude, I can't say enough good things about him at all. He's just a beast. Like, everything you could want, like, in a wrestler that size. He's just a beast. And when he hit that thing on Cody, that frog splash or whatever it was on the announce table, and he hurt his leg. I don't really think he hurt his leg. I just think, well, I'll get into that after we talk about the next part. Roman's music hits. It was a different music, but it said head of the table. And when I tell you, it was insane. I mean, it was insane. We all put our ones up, and it was like an out-of-body experience. Everybody was going crazy. We were going crazy. It was rattling in there. It was rattling. Roman shows up. We're all hyped. All of Cleveland's hyped. We go there. Not we. He goes into the ring, and he Superman punches Solo. We're going crazy. Like, it was registering on the Richter scale. It was that loud. And when he was going for that spear and that ooh, I've never experienced anything louder and something open like that. And just the aura and the emotions and the energy, it was just a different experience. I can't explain it. I honestly can't explain how crazy yet awesome it was. And I'm glad I got to experience. And if you weren't there, I feel bad for you, honestly, because it was a crazy, crazy experience. And then Cody hit that crossroads, got the pin. And the whole thing after with Cody and Roman, I thought it was great. I think they'll fight later down the line, but I'll give that match a 9.2 out of 10. It was a great match. I loved it. I loved every second of it, especially the return of Roman Reigns, the true tribal chief, let's be honest. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens on SmackDown. But that's my thoughts. Everything was dope at SummerSlam. Everybody would look like $1,000,000. Great new champions. I think they made great decisions with the champions that they put. And like I said, I'm really, really happy for Nia Jax. She's worked hard to get where she is now, and she deserves that championship. And yeah, I can't wait. And if y'all enjoyed, leave a subscribe, leave a like, comment. I want to know what y'all thought. This is my first time making a wrestling video like this and actually speaking with this. I'm normally a streamer, so just let me know. I know it's not the best, but just let me know. And if y'all have any tips or got any ideas for videos of wrestling I should make, and if y'all want to maybe watch some stuff with me or anything, I really appreciate you guys, every single one of y'all. And as always, chat, stay safe. Good night.